Hello everyone, Phil here in full summertime party attire. And it is time for us to celebrate even further during my big summer party. We're doing a special tier maker event right now. What I'm about to do is go through this ginormous listing of classic American foods and rank it on tier maker. Alright, now I definitely recognize many of these. I don't think I recognize all of these, okay? So we're going to go slowly through and try to get through these and rank them properly. But I'm not exactly sure what each one of them is. There may be a few here that I'm like... Some of them I'm going to have to get up and look because, you know, even though I blew it up on the screen, some of these I still can't really make out from a distance. So I might have to, like, get up close to see what they all are. But I'm definitely interested to see what it is that each one is and then rank it for you guys, okay? And it's supposed to be all American cuisines up here, all right? So, by the way, this is an interactive stream. I'm here with a live audience of hundreds, and these guys are going to be chiming in during the course of this to say what they think is good or bad or whatever, and go from there, all right? So here we go. Are you ready? Let's start. Let's start from the top. So, in the upper left-hand corner, all right? Actually, that's one I genuinely can't see very well. So I'm going to actually get up and take a look at it quick. What the hell is that? What is that? I legitimately have no idea. Is that sizzling fajitas? Okay. So you know what I think that's supposed to be in the upper left-hand corner? I think that's supposed to be the American version of sizzling fajitas. Okay, do you know what sizzling fajitas are? So it's something that if you're in Mexico or you're in Spain, they're not going to do this. But here in America, for some odd reason, they got to do weird showy shit, right? So you go to, like, you know, Applebee's, or you go to one of these American restaurants and you order the fajitas, and what they do is they bring it out to you on a platter where the food is essentially still cooking, and they call it sizzling fajitas. You can get steak, you can get chicken, you can get just all veggies if you're a vegetarian, but it comes out bubbling in all the sauce and the cooking materials that's cooked in. So what I see there, that looks like steak, and it's got like some veggies with it, so probably some peppers and things thrown in there with some onions and a little bit of like lime on the side. So you'd probably like squeeze that on top and then throw it into like a fajita shell and eat it. Now, fajita is not American, but this version, the sizzling fajita, all right, I guess would be considered American, because if you actually went to an authentic country that served this as part of their cuisine, they would not bring out sizzling in a pot like that. They'd be like, what the fuck, right? They'd probably be like, what, are you stupid? No, we're going to bring it to you when it's done, right? So anyway, sizzling fajitas. Have I had them before? Yes. When was the last time I had them? Probably 100 years ago. I don't think that the sizzling necessarily really adds anything to it. You know, is it fresh? Good. But does the sizzling itself, you know, it was just warm and they brought it to my table. It's the same as if you're bringing it sizzling. And quite honestly, when they bring it out and it's sizzling, it's a little annoying because now you have to wait for it to stop to eat it. Like, it's still cooking on my plate. I can't eat it yet. I have to wait for it to calm down, cool down, before you can eat it. So, in my opinion, it tastes good, by the way, because it has a little bit of extra flavor for being, like, fresh cooked. And depending on what it is, like, if it's a steak, so you get a little char flavor or whatever on there. It's kind of nice. But at the same time, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, my God, if it wasn't brought out sizzling, I would hate this. It's a piece of showmanship, is what it is. So, sizzling fajitas, I'm going to be honest, I'll probably give them like a C. I don't really think that it's anything special. Then again, maybe it's a B. You know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll put it in B, and then we'll see if we want to move it after. But I'm going to say sizzling fajitas will start in B. I believe this is key lime pie. Okay? Key lime pie is pie that is based on, obviously, the fruit limes with some other ingredients. It's kind of gelatinous. Usually it'll have a good crust that's made of like graham crackers or something like that. There's different ways to eat it, all right? But, or make it, I should say. But personally, I like it a lot. I like it has a tangy flavor, because most people think, oh, limes are sweet. It's actually not the case. Limes are actually tart. They're actually meant to be like a tart, sour flavor. And then they're a little bit sweeter than lemon, so everyone tends to remember, oh, sweet is sweet. It's actually not supposed to be. If you're eating key lime pie that's sweet, you're actually not eating the right thing, okay? But I definitely like key lime pie, but here's the thing. If I'm going to do a real tier maker here, there's going to be other pies coming up. I'm sure of it. And I know for a fact that for example, apple pie, cherry pie, I like that better than key lime pie. So if I'm going to say, oh, you know, apple pie, cherry pie is going to be like S tier, A tier, then I can't put key lime pie into a category higher than B. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that those two are going to be better. So this has to go kind of mid. It's not bad. You know what I don't like? The kind of pies that are like too much sugary flavor. Like, for example, like a custard pie, like coconut custard or something like that. That I don't like. That would be like bottom tier for me. So I would say mid-tier key lime pie. Okay? By the way, is it not true that key lime pie is supposed to be key limes from the Florida Keys? Is that what it's supposed to be? You're getting limes from those islands, the Florida Keys, and that's why they're called that? I have no idea. I'm just guessing. By the way, shout out to Kenneth, who just did a $20 super chat and says, you look like Neo from the Matrix. Neo wears Hawaiian shirts? That's amazing. I didn't know that. Well, anyway, thank you, Kenneth, for the super chat. Latest super chat of the stream. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Thank you so much. Very generous one, too. Okay. All right. Continuing on here. Up next, we've got... What does that say? I can't read it. It's too small. Chicken and waffles. Oh, no. Chicken and waffles. They didn't even take a picture of it. They just have a sign that says chicken and waffles. So for those who don't know chicken and waffles, it is absolutely an American thing. Usually it's in the South, southeastern or southern United States. They combine fried chicken pieces on top of an actual fresh waffle. Some people swear to it that it is absolutely the epitome of gourmet dining. It's breakfast, it's lunch, it's dinner. You can eat it at any time of day, and it's absolutely like lusciously gourmet. Others say that is the weirdest combination. Why would you want salty, greasy chicken on top of a sweet, savory waffle? It doesn't make sense, right? So the thing is, do you want to know the truth? Here is the truth, okay? That is really good strawberry lemonade that my wife made for today, by the way. The truth is, I've only had chicken and waffles once. I've never had authentic chicken and waffles ever in my life. Because I usually don't eat in the southern United States, you know. The one time I had chicken and waffles, get this, was in a Devour microwave meal, and it was like a chicken nugget piece with a terrible frozen waffle that you microwaved. That was the chicken and waffles I had. If I were rating chicken and waffles based off of that experience, I would have to make a new category down here that actually looks like a toilet. And I would actually put the food into the toilet and flush it. It was one of the most disgusting things I'd ever had in my life. But this is obviously, this is not that, right? It's not meant to be that. I kind of feel like I should have a tier of stuff that I don't know what it is or I never tried it. So you know what? Can I do that? Delete row, clear row, add a row below. Okay, I just did, right? Oh shit, did I just name it wrong? Oh no. Hold on, I think I just screwed the whole thing up. I think I just screwed it up. Ah. Okay. There we go. That's good. That's perfect. That's perfect. So, I want to be fair. Like, I totally could have done something where I said, oh, I'm just going to say it's D tier, but that's not fair, right? So, I would much rather be fair here and say, I never really tried it. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say I never really tried it. we'll put it into that category. It's only fair. Now, it could be really good, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you have? Any of you ever had legit chicken and waffles? Sith Alchemist says it belongs in D tier. Really? Derek says that this was DSP Tries It chicken and waffles from 2016. So this was 7 years ago when I had that meal. North Scout says a C tier. Make one that says I don't ever want to try it. Well, no, that's not fair. Because I know what chicken tastes like and I know what waffles taste like. Yeah, but at the same time, I've never combined the two. I don't know if it would make it any better. I don't know if they do anything special in a real restaurant that serves this meal. I've never had it. That's not fair. I don't want to slam something I've never really tried, okay? Okay. By the way, hold on a second here. Someone says, you look like Movie Bob from The Matrix. What in the hell is Movie Bob? I don't even know what the hell that is. No clue. But I guess thanks for the tip. I don't know what that means, but there you go. Who's Movie Bob? It's probably an insult, I'm sure. Okay, anyway, continuing on. So this, if I'm not mistaken, this is supposed to be apple pie. I think that's what that is. It looks like a bunch of pieces of apple pie from like a diner or a restaurant that sells it. All right, truth be told, apple pie, I believe, is my favorite pie of all time. I think it's so good. And the thing is, you can have different kinds of apple pie. You could have one that's sweet. You could have one that's tart. You could have one that's way cinnamony. But you could have one that's more savory. You could have one that has more of that kind of compote in it. You could have one that's more chunks of apple in it. And I've had all different kinds, and they're so good. You could have one with a lattice work top. You could have one that's like the deluxe Dutch apple pie that has like the crumbly stuff on top. That's super good. And it all is good. It's like literally, I don't think I've ever had apple pie I didn't like. It's so effing good. Even this, go to McDonald's, they still have the apple pies you get there. Those suck, but they're still better, you know what I'm saying, than everything else at McDonald's. So, yes, American style apple pie, for me, this is literally one of the quintessential dessert dishes of America. And I'm going to put it into S tier. And if you disagree, you are absolutely wrong. It is delicious. You cannot dispute that. It is one of the best dessert foods ever made. Apple pie. Okay? There we go. Continuing on. I believe this is an American ice cream sundae. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be specifically soft serve ice cream or if it's supposed to be like otherwise, but if it is an American ice cream sundae, which I believe that's what it is, looks like it has some interesting toppings. I think that one has some fruit and some chocolate in it, right? That's pretty good. I like ice cream. I like sundaes. I think that sundaes. Oh, it's a part. Oh, people are saying it's yogurt. Now, how can you tell the difference? No. Hold on a second. No. I gotta go look at this myself. I don't think that's yogurt. Is that yogurt? Well, here's the thing. Hold on. That's yogurt. There's no ice cream. Yeah, there's no other ice cream on here, see? Huh. Well, see, you guys could be right, but if you take a look, there's no other ice cream on the list. If you look, there's no other ice cream. So it's like we have to count something as ice cream. And I feel like that should be counted as ice cream. That's the thing that's at the very least, that's the closest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say if we're grading this, all right, as a frozen dairy dessert, which is I think what it is, it's supposed to be that, just a category like a frozen dessert or something like that, right? I like ice cream. I like fruit. I also like frozen yogurt, and I like fruit. I like that it's versatile. It goes with a lot of different toppings, right? Soft serve is also quite good because it's very soft. You don't have to like worry about it being too frozen. I don't know if I've ever gotten an ice cream headache from soft serve. I know I've gotten an ice cream headache from regular ice cream and milkshakes. But anyway, here's the thing. I really like it, but there's a problem. All right, there's a major problem that needs to be addressed before we can rate a frozen dairy dessert. And here's the problem with that. You ready? It freaking melts. And that's terrible. If you're going to eat your dessert, you want to be able to eat it and make the first bite as good as the last bite. When you're eating ice cream or a yogurt parfait or whatever, by the time you get to the end, it's always melted and liquidy and not as good. The first few bites are the best when you get that really thick whipped feeling with all the toppings and everything. And then you get to the end and it's like a mess. Like I didn't ask for this. I wanted a nice fresh dessert from the first bite to the last. So just on the premise that over time the quality degrades, I'm very, very sorry. But this has to be at best an A tier. But I would say if I were to choose between key lime pie and like a dairy dessert like this, I would choose the dairy dessert. So I'm going to give it an A, but there's no way that could be an S. That's going to melt and it's not. It's too, I don't like time limited foods. All right, let's continue. I don't know what this is. Does anyone have any idea what this is in the upper left here? I have no clue. To me, it looks like a big turd or something that they sprinkled cheese on top. Like they sprinkled Fontina cheese on top of a big long one, right? What is that? Does anyone know? I have no idea. They're measuring it they have a tape measure and they're measuring it, but I don't know what the hell it is, right? Anyone know what the hell that's supposed to be? That is not a sub sandwich because there actually is a sub sandwich coming up. It's one of these coming up. That is not a sub sandwich. Kevin Buffalo did a super chat. He says, use this super chat to eat chicken and waffles. Well, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. One day I would like to try real chicken and waffles in a restaurant and see what all the hubbub is. Because I've never had it. I'm curious what it really is. It's a gobbledygook. What? It's a gobbledygook. You're serious. This is called a gobbledygook. What in the hell? The only gobbledygook I know is an enemy in Final Fantasy. So I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. The gabagoo. It's a Tootsie Roll? How is that a Tootsie Roll? What are you talking about? Alright. No one knows what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. Because I don't want to know where it came from. So that's just going here. We're just moving on. The American Cheese Burger. So first of all, this is remarkable because the hamburger is not supposed to be from Hamburg. And isn't Hamburg in like Europe? Right? So how is an American cheeseburger? I guess this is the American version. As you can see there, it's a classic, like a white bun with lettuce, tomato, and some melted cheese. American cheese, by the way. You can see that's American cheese on there. Correct? And I don't know what else is on there. I don't really see much else. Are there condiments on that thing, or is it dry? Is that a dry cheeseburger? A dry cheeseburger. But anyway, cheeseburgers are, you know, here's the thing. When I was younger, I loved them. I was addicted to cheeseburgers. Thing is, I never really went to McDonald's. So for me, Burger King was like the big cheeseburger. Go get the Whopper at Burger King. But then as I got older and I started to venture out and have other foods, I tried other places. Wendy's. I was like, oh, Wendy's is the best cheeseburger. Then I would go to like Red Robin. I'm like, oh my God, Red Robin is the best cheeseburger. Then I would go to Five Guys Burgers and Fries. I'd be like, oh my God, Five Guys absolutely has the best cheeseburger. And then I would go across the street from Five Guys to Habit Burger. And I'd be like, well, this is flame broiled. It's pretty good. I'd say it's tied with Five Guys. So over time, as I tried different burgers of different places, I kind of changed my tastes to what I liked in a burger. Today, I barely ever eat red meat because I'm older now and I have a medical condition. I have a blood disorder that if I eat too much of certain foods, I can get incredible amounts of swelling and crystallized acid in my blood that makes my joints swell up and become insanely painful. So I try not to eat red meat the most that I can avoid it. And I find that today I don't even desire red meat. Like, I don't crave a cheeseburger ever. Like, I don't have a desire to eat one. If there's one there, maybe I'll get it as variety, but I never really crave a cheeseburger anymore. I've lost that because I don't really eat them often, all right? But the thing is, when you think classic American foods, what do you think? you think apple pie, you think cheeseburger, right? And you think the quesarito. The quesarito. So if it's in there with the ones that you're synonymous with American food, you've got to give it S tier. You have to. Even if I don't personally prefer it today, I think we'd be remiss to say it's not an S tier food. It's definitely one of the big things you eat when you're in America, right? Okay, very nice. What the hell is that? I can't tell what that is. Let me get up and take a look at this. I don't know what that is. What the fuck is that? Is that supposed to be pizza? That is supposed to be pizza, like American pan pizza. Right? So, is that supposed to be American deep dish pan pizza? Because they don't serve deep dish pizza outside of the U.S., do they? So I think that's what that is. It's supposed to be like deep dish style pizza. Yeah, people are saying yes. Okay. Yeah, okay. So that's Chicago style deep dish pizza. Now, I'm lucky enough to have had this multiple times, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you. It tastes amazing. It's really, really good. You can get all kinds. You get, the one I got, one of them was like pepperoni, sausage, salami, and something else. And it was baked in, and it's so thick. It's like, no exaggeration, it's like this thick, okay? So it's like 2 inches thick. That's how, it's like, it really is like a piece of pie or a piece of quiche. But they claim it's pizza because it looks like pizza on top. But when you get under that top layer, it's nothing like regular pizza at all, okay? It tastes great. It does. I love it. I think the flavor is amazing. But number one, I do have issue categorizing it as pizza because it really isn't pizza. It's something different. And it's fine that it's something different. I just think that, like, they want to jump on the bandwagon of calling something pizza that really isn't. But I loved it. The 2 times that I had it, I thought it was very, very genuinely good. But let me think about this. What I put, it's definitely not, there's no way it's S tier. I would say regular pizza is better than that. Man, I'm gonna put it into B tier because I like it, but I don't like it that much. Hot dogs. Well, just today I had hot dogs. I had chili cheese dogs that my wife had made homemade chili for me, and hot dogs, man, let me tell you guys something. I've had some absolutely amazingly delicious hot dogs in my life, and I've had some stinkers that don't taste very good. There's hot dogs out there that are very bland. And really what they rely on is for you to pile on the toppings, the condiments, and other things to make it taste good. While there's other hot dogs that absolutely stand out. For example, have you ever, honest question, have you ever eaten a Nathan's hot dog? How many people out there have had a Nathan's hot dog? Raise your right hand right now if you've eaten a Nathan's hot dog in your life and you know what it tastes like. Okay? So number one, if you have, I want you to reminisce on that flavor, how different that Nathan's hot dog was, the spices and the savoriness and how juicy that hot dog was. All right? You still got your hand up? Well, put it down. I can't see it. We're on the internet. I don't know why people always fall for that. I can't see your hand. There's no point in putting your hand up. But they are very different because they put extra effort into the amount of seasonings and flavorings in them. Also, I'll be honest, the Costco hot dog I think is amazing. I just had one about a month and a half ago for the first time ever. And I ate the thing. I was like, dude, it tastes so good. I can't believe that it tastes so good. But it's weird because I've had other hot dogs. Like there's one that's called like I want to say it's like Hummels or something. And I've had these and they suck. It tastes like flavorless, bland, boiled meat. It doesn't even taste good. So I don't know why people would buy those. So honestly, hot dogs can go either way. But if we're going to rank this list fairly, okay, we have to say, well, we're going to judge it on the best. We're going to judge it on the best. And I think hot dogs are incredibly versatile. Why? You can put so many, you can put just condiments like ketchup, some onions, and some sauerkraut. Amazing. You could put mustard pickles, fucking peppers, bacon bits, chili, cheese, tomato. Hell, I know in some places they put cream cheese on the goddamn thing. Like, they go crazy in certain places. They just put wild things on a hot dog. But it goes. And the thing is with that bun, the way that the bun is situated, you could pile things on top of it, and they sit perfectly on top. So that way, you know, how cool is that? That the things sit on top like that, right? So, you know, all things considered, I think hot dogs are amazing if they're good. And you can get shitty ones. But if you get a good hot dog, I think that's an S-tier food. Seriously. I think I do. It's so versatile. And it's so different in the ways that you can eat it and the things you can put on it. I got to go for an S. That's got to be an easy S, right? As bad as they are for you, man, they're full of flavor. Okay. Continuing on. We have the lobster roll. Who knows what a lobster roll is? All right, you're not going to fall for that joke that quick. Lobster roll is basically when they take pieces of the lobster. Usually it's claw meat because they don't go for the really expensive high-end meat like tail meat. But usually it's the lower-end claw meat. And they break it out of the shell. They usually poach it. And then it's put into like almost a salad with like mayonnaise and other things tossed in there. And they put it onto a toasted bun that usually they will paint with like a butter or something like that. And you basically eat it. It's a very northeastern United States food, very popular in New England, where I came from when I used to grow up in Connecticut. It was a popular thing out there, okay? First of all, it's expensive because it's lobster, all right? Now, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying it's kind of annoying that you're getting like a sandwich and they're going to charge you like $25. You're like, wait, what? You're charging me that much for lobster? Yeah, it's a lobster roll. Lobster's expensive, right? Yeah, but it's a sandwich. Well, it's a lobster roll, so you got to deal with it. That's number one. Number two, I'll be honest, every lobster roll I ever got didn't really fill me because you're eating lobster. They're not going to give you as much as, say, a giant burger or a steak sandwich or whatever. They're going to give you less of it because it's more expensive, so it doesn't necessarily fill my stomach, all right? But I've probably had in my life 5 lobster rolls, and out of them, I think 2 of them were like super duper amazing. Like, the flavor was great. The lobster was absolutely delicious, you know, fresh, and having it in that salad added, it kicked it up a notch, you know. So lobster rolls can be good. The only bummer is they're kind of seasonal. Like, you can't really get them year round. You have to get them around the summertime, probably because of the availability of lobster in the United States. It's not necessarily you know, year round. So based on that alone, I'm gonna give lobster roll a B. I'm sorry, it's good, but it's not available all the time. It's kind of skimpy. It's kind of pricey. That's a B for me. Okay? Continuing on. This is what I believe to be Americanized nachos. So what you're going to have is you're going to have your little nacho, or what do they call them? Like tortilla chips, right? With some kind of a nacho cheese. And nacho cheese, there's so many different kinds of ways to make it. Sometimes it's just melted cheese. Sometimes it's a sauce that they put in there. Sometimes it's bull. You got some peppers usually, some kind of jalapenos or another kind of thing, maybe some tomatoes, or sometimes a salsa or pico de gallo. Sometimes you'll have guacamole, sometimes you'll have sour cream. Americans go crazy. They put chicken in that shit. They'll put meat and beef and chili in that shit. I've seen crazy things in American nachos. So once again, American nachos are very versatile because they're big variety. I've seen nachos that are cheap and nachos that are incredibly expensive. I've seen nachos that are very small and portable and nachos that are giant table size. I've seen nachos that you eat and you get completely covered from head to toe with what you're eating because it's such a mess. All right? Now, here's the thing. I like nachos, and I think that they're quite tasty. However, there's a problem with nachos. And the problem is, once again, in most cases, nachos are better in the first 5 to 10 minutes that you eat them, and they get progressively worse the longer you're eating, much like when I described the ice cream. Why? Because what ends up happening is if they put a certain amount of liquid ingredients in there, all of the chips become like mush on the bottom. So you're trying to eat. The top layer is always good, and then as soon as you try to get into that middle to bottom layer, it's like you can't even eat it. It's a slop. So now you got to get like a fork and knife, and you're trying to scoop it like a trough onto your plate. Like, come on, man, I want to get the rest of those nachos, man. And it's a fucking mess. You know, I wish that they could find a way to make nachos that didn't get sloppy. If they weren't sloppy, nachos would be like amazing, you know. But based on the fact that they're such a messy, sloppy thing, I'm actually going to put nachos into C tier. I know, some people are going to yell at me and say, what, are you fucking crazy? I don't know. I think they're good, but I definitely think it's more of a C tier. And you know what? Now that I'm honestly ranking things against each other, I'm sorry, but I'm going to downgrade sizzling fajitas to C tier as well. Yes, I am. I'm downgrading those to C tier as well. And now I'm going to go even a step further, and people are going to be very upset with me, all right? But I'm going to downgrade key lime pie to C tier. Because I'm trying to rank things against each other. Like, you know, Chicago pizza and their lobster roll are a step above all those others. So now those got to be downgraded and those got to be upgraded. You see, this is how it works. This is how it works. Things change on the fly when you're doing these tier makers, all right? So if you disagree with me, be sure to leave 700 complaining comments on this video telling me how awful I am. I have terrible taste. I'm a terrible human. And I should jump off a cliff. Leave that comment on the video. Thank you. Okay. Let's continue. Hold on a second here. So, okay, let's continue. Okay, so some people are confused because this is a picture, a photo of an African-American gentleman dressed to the nines in a nice button-down shirt, nice formal tie, and he's standing there. It looks like he's in a line getting something. He's got food in his hand, and you can't tell what it is, all right? First of all, that's President Obama. That's our former president of the United States. That's not just some schmo off the street, all right? Speak with some respect. That's our former president, okay? There you go. That's number one. Number two, that is not just a line. Do you know what that is? That is one of the world-famous cheesesteak shops in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Obama went there and he did the cheesesteak challenge like I did over a decade ago. One's called Pat's and one's called Gino's. And they're across the street from each other. They use different bread. They use a different methodology in cutting their meat. They use different cheese sauce. And they have different toppings on their big, steak sandwiches. Or Philly cheesesteaks as they're called there. Okay? So that's what that is. That is President Obama eating one of the synonymous cheese steaks from Philadelphia, or Philly cheese steaks, okay? Now, I have personally partaken in both Pat's and Gino's. Personally, if I remember correctly, I think I liked Gino's better, but I'm trying to remember. I mean, now it's been over a decade ago. Maybe if I went back and I watched the video again, I would refresh my own memory. I just remember that one place had a little bit more variety. I thought that the steak in both was good, the bread in both was good, but there was a difference in the cheese, and there was a difference in the toppings you could get on the sandwich, if I remember correctly. Okay? But here's the thing. Just a standard Philly cheesesteak, I would probably say is A tier. If we're talking Pat and Gino's cheesesteaks, then we're probably talking S tier. But the question is, are we talking, because not everyone can get to Pat and Gino's. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a rare thing that you can actually get to the best place in the country to get the cheesesteak. If you're just getting a cheesesteak anywhere else, it's probably at best an A tier. And if you get a shitty, bland cheesesteak like I've had, so just so you know what it is, it's usually some kind of slow-cooked or shaved beef of some sort. And it's seasoned and put onto a hoagie-style roll, okay, like a long piece of bread, and then some kind of cheese. Some places actually melt sliced cheese. Some people actually use like a cheese sauce, and then they'll add other ingredients. Some places like mushrooms or green peppers, I've seen a million different things on these, you know. So really, it's your preference. But for me, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, the only place that really blew me away having a cheesesteak was Pat's and Gino's. Everyone else I had was all right. So I'm going to say President Obama eating a cheesesteak at Pat or Gino's is probably S tier. But me, Joe Schmo, nobody, Phil Burnell, eating a cheesesteak anywhere else is probably just A tier at best. So I'm going to go with A tier. All right? There we go. Popcorn. I was not aware that popcorn was American, but apparently it is. Now, here's the thing about popcorn. It's tasty. It's actually healthy unless you get popcorn that has a bunch of shit on it. Just plain popcorn is healthy. It's light. It's a great snackable food. It's poppable, right? You can pop popcorn right into your mouth. And it's absolutely great that you can do that without having to make a mess. Popcorn is not messy in any way. You can easily pop, right? And it's light and airy. It's easy to carry around because it is so light. All right? There's so many positives to popcorn. But I'm sorry, and you guys are going to be mad at me again, but I'm sorry. I got to be real with you. There's one humongous setback and problem when you're eating popcorn. It's absolutely a game-changing, deal-breaking, unacceptable thing. Are you ready? The goddamn kernels get stuck in your fucking teeth, and it's the biggest nightmare to get them out. It bothers you. The moment you get a kernel in your teeth, you know it. It's like the world stopped and someone completely changed the alignment of your entire mouth. You can tell that everything is amiss, and now you must make it your world's, fucking determination to get that piece of kernel out of your teeth, because it's gonna bother you forever unless you get it out, right? I fucking hate that shit. I hate the goddamn popcorn kernel in the teeth. That's why recently I've told you guys in the last several months I tried this new thing. It's called Popcorners. It's a chip made from popcorn, but it got rid of the kernels. It tastes just like popcorn, and it's just as healthy as real popcorn, but it's a chip and has no kernels. It's amazing. If you like popcorn, go get Popcorners right now. Just drop what you're doing. Take your sunglasses off, get your fat ass up, get out to the store and buy some fucking Popcorners right now. I'm going. Right now, bye. Well, God damn it, they were out of Popcorners. They didn't have them over there, so I guess we can't get them right now. But we're talking about regular popcorn. You're talking about regular popcorn, all right? B. It's a B for now, but I might change it after the fact. Okay? What's going on, Hiseo? How are you? Good to have you here. You missed about 35 minutes of the American Food Tier Maker, but we're still going right here. Alright? We're still going. Let's continue. I have no idea what this is. Did anyone know what this is? It looks like some kind of meat with cheese melted over it with a side of Thousand Island dressing. I have no clue what that's supposed to be. Does anyone know what that is? Right? I have no idea. It's an SOS? What the fuck is an SOS? What does that mean? That's not a Reuben. Hell no, that's not a Reuben. Right? A Reuben is a sandwich with toasted bread, sauerkraut, melted Swiss cheese. That just looks like a fucking mess. Right? You think that's an open-faced Reuben? All right. Since we're disagreeing and I have no idea what it is, I'm just going to put it down here. I'm not going to even try to rank something I've never had. Okay? Okay. This is wild caught. You ready for this? Salmon. It is salmon. There is several different kinds of salmon on planet Earth, but one of the best are caught in the waters of native Alaska. And that is why this is considered an American food. It is a unique American salmon. All right? Now, I didn't even have salmon until maybe a few years ago. It's the first time that I actually had it, okay? And let me tell you something about salmon. It's unique. It's a different taste. It definitely has a different flavor to it than other fish for sure. Salmon can be prepared many different ways. You could have it in sushi or sashimi. You could have it cooked and seared. You can have it blackened. You can do it so many different ways, and it tastes really good. The good thing about salmon is that it's very high in vitamins, and it's good for you. So it's a protein that's versatile and is quite healthy for you when you eat it. So that's one of the main things about salmon that I like, is that it's not some unhealthy slop. It's actually quite good. So taking a look at it and, you know, the ways that it can be served, I'm going to say salmon is considered an incredibly versatile food, and I'm going to give it an A ranking. And you can completely disagree, and that's fine, but I think that salmon is actually one of the best American foods out there, especially the Alaskan caw. Derek, I will see you later. Thanks for stopping by today. Up next, we have Hershey's chocolate. When I was growing up, the only milk chocolate I ever ate was Hershey's. I didn't really try other brands of chocolate. And then when I got older, I started trying other kinds of chocolate, like Dove chocolate and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, this is like way better than Hershey's. And then I started having dark chocolate and other, you know what I mean? Like chocolate with stuff. And I was like, oh my God. So the thing is, like, Hershey's is like a starter chocolate for me. It's okay. But I think that Hershey's is best as an ingredient in other things. Like, to just eat a Hershey bar is just like, meh, it's okay. But you can get so many better kinds of chocolate than Hershey's. So, quite honestly, out of everything here, I almost feel like Hershey's is like a D. It really is like the lower grade of chocolate, right? Wait, what? People are saying that's, oh, it's a s'more? People are saying that's graham cracker, marshmallow, and chocolate together. That's a s'more? That's an automatic D tier. That's an automatic terrible. It's disgusting. S'mores are just the messiest, stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Let's take graham crackers that are crunchy and break when you try to do anything with them. Let's try to smash melted chocolate and marshmallow between the two. That's going to fucking make a mess and melt and go everywhere. Pretend like it's a sandwich when obviously it's not. You look like a jackass trying to eat the fucking thing. The moment you bite it, it explodes everywhere. Your face is covered in chocolate. There's fucking marshmallow squirting out in every direction. There's crumbs everywhere. Fuck the s'more. It's absolutely terrible. D ranking. I'm sticking with that. You're not changing my mind. I think s'mores are stupid as shit. Let's continue. This is American sourdough bread. Sourdough bread is incredibly delicious. A tier, just because I said so. It's airy, it's crispy when you toast it, but it's chewy when you don't. It's got that extra acidic flavor because of the sourness of the dough. You can use it in various different things. It's good as a sandwich. It's good to dip in things. You can put freaking toppings on top, like bruschetta. You can make bruschetta on a sourdough, and it tastes incredibly good. You can make grilled cheese and sandwiches on the sourdough. You cut the sourdough up and make delicious croutons. Croutons of sourdough are very tasty. Sourdough is amazing. A tier. Twinkies. D tier. Twinkies are nasty. Do you know of anyone, honest question, do you know of anyone who's hungry and they're like, man, I have a choice of things to eat, and they say, I choose the Twinkie? Even if you had like a line of baked goods in front of you, you had a cupcake, you had I don't know, a cinnamon roll, you had a ho-ho, right? You had all these things, a coffee cake, right? And then you had a Twinkie. Who would choose the Twinkie? Right? Who would do that? I would never choose a Twinkie. The Twinkie is something that's like, I don't know, if you want to buy a box of them for like $2 and you want them to last like 17 weeks because you're lazy and you're never going to check the date on them. And anytime, oh my God, I'm absolutely hungry. I just need something. Oh my God, I still have a Twinkie. And you open up the packet and you just shove it in your mouth. It tastes weird. It's weird. It's a sponge. It doesn't even taste like it's a cake. It tastes like you're eating your fucking dirty sponge from your house that you accidentally grabbed the wrong thing off the counter and put the sponge in your mouth by accident, but the sponge just happened to be rolled around in like this sugary confection cream. But it's just nasty. It doesn't taste good at all. Seriously. Twinkies, I don't know why people like Twinkies. I never liked Twinkies. I always thought they were just meh. I would much, you know what I used to like? The Hostess little cream-filled chocolate cupcake. It has that white twirl of frosting on the top. That's the best thing. If you're going to talk about those like those baked goods that you could get for like a kid, you got to get the filled chocolate cupcake. The Twinkie, you take that Twinkie and you could go shove it in your ass or throw it out, whatever you want to do. Don't eat it. Whatever you do, it's disgusting. Go get something else. Twinkie is D tier. I don't care. Wait, I said Twinkie is D. Yes, Twinkie is D tier. There you go. Let's continue. I've had devil dogs. Devil dogs are good. Twinkies are gross. I'd eat devil dogs 10 times out of 10. I would not eat a devil dog, or I'd not eat a Twinkie. This appears to me to be some kind of a berry pie. Now, that could be anything. That could be raspberry. That could be blueberry. That could be marionberry. That could be a mixed berry. That could be a lot of different things. It looks good. Like, I'm not sure what that is, but I really like berry pie. I like berry pie much better than I like key lime pie. However, I definitely like apple pie better than berry pie. So if I had to choose my pies and grade my pies, I would probably say the berry pie is an A tier, while the apple pie is a S tier. Okay? New England clam chowder. How many people have had this? I'm wondering how unique New England clam chowder actually is. See, I grew up having it because I lived in New England, so I knew all about it. I had it all the time, but I think a lot of people don't get to eat it, right? Thank you, North Scout. I missed your super chat. North Scout did a super chat. He says, F s'mores, cry chat, cry. Well, there you go. North Scout also does not like s'mores. Thank you, North Scout, for the super chat. Okay. Some people have had it and liked it. Some people have said, I just never had it. Yep. First of all, you may not realize this. All right. But there are two different kinds of clam chowder. There's New England and there's Manhattan. New England is the white and creamy. Manhattan is a red and more of a tomato based. Okay. They're both good. I've had both and they are both very tasty. But I would say that the Manhattan is more like a soup, while this is more like a thicker, stewish, that's why they call it chowder. It's like its own category of liquid, okay? So what's in New England clam chowder? It's creamy. It usually has pieces of potato. Sometimes they'll put stuff in there like bacon to balance the flavor, but it's got a lot of clams. And clams are chewy, but they're very savory and very seafoody, so you gotta like it. You gotta like seafood to like New England clam chowder. Personally, I think seafood or clam chowder is really good. If I have an opportunity to get it, I would probably get it. The thing is, you can't really get it that many places. It's actually a rarity where you can go and find really good clam chowder anywhere. So when you can get it, and if it's good, you know, a good quality, it's amazing. But you know, it's not guaranteed you're gonna get a good clam chowder, sadly. I would say I'm gonna rank it a B. I'm gonna say clam chowder is a B. La Paris 57 has just done a super chat. Thank you to La Paris for a super chat. I appreciate that. Okay. SD Charger says the only proper way to eat clam chowder is in a bread bowl. That is definitely one of the ways you can eat it. It is very good in a bread bowl. It's also good with oyster crackers in it. Really good with oyster crackers. Now, guys, this one, I don't know what this is. I was trying to figure this out. I think I see beans on one side, but I have no idea. Does anyone know what this is? If we can't figure out what this is, we'll just skip it, and that's fine. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know what in the holy hell that's supposed to be. Does anyone know? What's up, fighting fan? How are you? Mr. Puzzle says chicken enchilada. Yeah, enchiladas are not American. So how could this be American? It doesn't make sense, right? Yeah, exactly. I saw the beans, and there's some kind of, like, meat. But why? I don't even think that should be on the list. Right? I don't understand how that's American. Screw that, then. Since we don't know really what it is, it doesn't make sense. I'm just going to toss it down there. Okay. I believe this is a full rack of pork ribs. Am I correct? A full rack of slow-cooked, likely smoked, barbecue pork ribs. Is that what I'm looking at? I want to make sure I'm grading this correctly for what it really is, right? Is that what that's supposed to be? And by the way, if you're not noticing, these are the ones that are slathered in barbecue sauce. This is not dry rub. This is, you know, this is a barbecue style rib, right? With the sauce on it. Now, here's the thing. If ribs are done correctly and they are full of flavor and juice, if they have fall off the bone tender meat, if they have a smokiness to it, if they have the right amount of barbecue on them, all right? Smoked meats in particular, barbecue ribs, can be one of the absolute most decadent, most flavorful, most succulent, most deliciously gourmet tasting foods you can ever eat in your entire life. But they're hard to perfect because I've had places where the ribs are just not that good. They are kind of like hit or miss. Sometimes you'll get an amazing rack of ribs and they nailed it, and you eat it, you're like, I can't believe how good this is. And then another time you'll be like, why is it kind of dry? Or why is it a little too chewy? Or why does it just have a funny flavor? It's because they didn't nail it. They didn't do it right, you know? So it's kind of a hit or miss thing. If they nail those ribs, I'm telling you, I've had ribs that are like, I can't believe I'm eating this good. I should be paying $100 for this. And you're not, you know? So it's really hard to say when you get down to it. But the thing is, all slow cook barbecue in America, anyone who's perfected the smoking and the slow cooking process, dude, if you have opportunity to get that, if you're a tourist in America and you've never had it, you gotta get it. It's so effing good. It will change your life. From then on, you'll be like, I don't want to eat meat any other way. And then they'll say, too bad you're not in America anymore. Stop being a whiner. And they say, damn it, back to my disgusting, you know, pork sausage, you know, that I eat, my kielbasa or something, right? Not that kielbasa is bad, but just saying it's no smoked barbecue ribs. You understand what I'm saying here? So, yeah, I mean, it could be S or it could be A. It's definitely not lower than A. I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to go with perfection, and I'm going to go with S. And you can disagree with me, and that's okay. Thanksgiving turkey, which is hilarious, because in the picture, they don't show any turkey. They show people dressed as pilgrims on a giant float turkey in a parade. But obviously, this is supposed to be Thanksgiving turkey, correct? Now, here's the thing. Thanksgiving turkey is an American classic. It's a standard. People have grown up eating turkey every Thanksgiving. They love it. This is the thing that they absolutely believe is amazing. But I have to confess something. I've told you guys this. If you know me, you know this about me. All right? Are you ready for this? Prepare yourselves because you may not be ready for what I'm about to tell you. Are you ready for this? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a confession to make. I'm not big on turkey when it comes to like a real whole turkey. I like turkey as like ground turkey and an ingredient in something. I like turkey hot dogs. I like turkey patties. When it comes to actually like the whole turkey for Thanksgiving, I'm not a huge fan. I actually don't like it that much. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not too crazy for it. Even when you slather on the freaking gravy and everything, I'm not crazy for it. So for me, Thanksgiving turkey, I'm not going to kid you now. You guys are going to be upset with me. I'm not going to shit you. For me, Thanksgiving turkey is a C. Everything else you eat at Thanksgiving, any of the sides, any of the other things, I love that so much better than the turkey. The turkey for me is like the afterthought of what I want to eat on Thanksgiving. I'll eat the stuffing. I'll eat the freaking cranberry sauce. I'll eat the tasty mashed potatoes, the sweet potatoes. If you got some kind of a casserole with some veggies, you got some green beans, you got all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's my stuff for Thanksgiving. The turkey's like, nah, all right, give me a piece with some gravy. Okay, on to the other things again. I'm not really a turkey guy. I don't know. People right now want to lynch me. They're like, seriously, they're out my house. I hear them outside. I can see the pitchforks and the torches above their heads. They're raising. They're saying, come out, come out. I'm sorry. All right. It looks like LaParis has done another super chat, and he says, you can't do s'mores like that. S'mores got to be a B or C. Please, for the love of God, don't do barbecue ribs wrong. I gave barbecue ribs an S tier, but we'll have to agree to disagree. I hate s'mores. I think they're disgusting. Lord Prince Albert did a super chat. He said, what if turkey was made by Hanson from Scary Movie? I don't care if it's made by, you know, a top gourmet chef or it's made by a hobo in the street. I still just don't like turkey that much. Nothing's going to change it. So, thank you very much, Lord Prince Albert. for the super chat. Okay, continuing on with our American cuisine tier maker rankings. Baked beans. Baked beans. Now, here's another one. Baked beans, all right, seriously, can be so good. They can have super amount of flavor. You can have them smoky. You can have them savory. You can have them tangy. You can put all kinds of cool things in them, like onions, peppers, bacon, brown sugar. So now there's like more of a sweetness to them, right? Or you could toss it. I actually saw baked beans in the store made with Dr. Pepper soda pop. And I was like, what? But I guess it's popular. There's a baked beans that are actually made with Dr. Pepper soda pop, and people seem to really like them. Okay? So, I think that they're very versatile, and I think that they can be absolutely delicious. Okay? But, are they necessarily like a main event food? Not really. Baked beans is a side. So, baked beans is never going to hit like S tier. You know what I'm saying? Baked beans are darn good, though. Now, are baked beans as good as, say, a lobster roll, popcorn? Yeah. I would actually say baked beans are probably a B tier for me. They're a pretty darn good side, and they can be quite good depending on what's in them. So there you go. Baked beans. Very nice. I believe this is supposed to be Nashville hot chicken. Am I correct? Does that look like Nashville hot chicken to you guys? I think that's what it is. And indeed, if that is Nashville hot chicken, I have to make a confession that sadly I've never had the real thing. And that sucks because I've heard many, many good things about Nashville hot chicken, but I've never had the opportunity to taste it myself. People are saying that's not Nashville hot chicken, just consider that generic chicken wings. Oh, you want me to just count it generic chicken? We could do it generic. You want to generify it then? It's just it's generic? Okay. If this is generic chicken wings, then that is a D tier. Chicken wings suck. Chicken wings are mostly skin. They have almost no meat on them whatsoever. They're a pain to eat because they have a bunch of fucking bones in them. They're messy as shit. They cover your body. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't like chicken wings. Give me anything else but chicken wings. I don't understand people who go to the bars and say, give me a plate of chicken wings. No. No. You want to know what's better than those kind of chicken wings? Jerk. You ever had Jamaican jerk chicken? That shit's good. You want to know what's not good? A plate of fucking chicken skins. Chicken wings as a D tier. They're terrible. Don't eat them. I believe this is chicken fried steak. Is that correct? Does that look like a steak that has been fried in chicken fried style? I've had this before, and I have a lot to say about chicken fried steak, actually. If that is indeed what that is supposed to be, I can't tell. Is that a chicken fried steak? Brian says, yes, I think that is a chicken fried steak. You think so? Let's go with chicken fried steak. I think that's what it is. Chicken fried steak essentially is a lower grade of steak. I'm going to be honest. It's not like a high grade cut of meat. But it's a beef steak that's been pounded almost flat. They bread it as if it were fried chicken, and they deep fry it. So when you eat it, it's crispy on the outside, but it's chewy and has a salty, savory meat on the inside. Typically, they'll sell that with some kind of a gravy that you can dip it in to have added flavor as well. Okay? So chicken fried steak is pretty good. However, it is incredibly bad for you. You're talking some of the most incredibly oil breading, deep frying. Very bad. Tastes amazing, but one of the worst preparations of steak that you can eat. Very unhealthy. All right? But it tastes great. So based on that premise, all right, I'm going to give chicken fried steak a C. And you can disagree with me, but you'll be wrong because it's a C. All right, I have to actually get up and look at some of these coming up because I can't tell what they are. What the fuck is that? I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. I have no idea what that is. Some kind of a seafood dish. Is that gumbo? That might be gumbo. I don't know what that is. Potato chips? Okay. Trail mix? I think that's jambalaya. Mac and cheese. Ham. Peanut butter and banana. Some kind of a salad. Tater tots. I think that's some kind of a cured meat. That's okra. Cornbread. Duty. Mashed tea. Disgusting. Some kind of a sandwich. Disgusting. Fried chicken. Okay. So. I don't know what that is. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it could be like some kind of a seafood dish, because I see like there's a shrimp, but I also see some kind of bread. I don't know what it is. Unless anyone actually knows what that really is, I'm not sure. Because I was thinking maybe it's a gumbo, but I don't think gumbo necessarily has clams, and there's clams in that dish too. So I actually don't know what it is. I mean, here's the thing. I love clams. I love shrimp. I'd probably really like that dish, but I can't grade it if I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. If it's probably would be graded high, but I don't know what it is, so I don't want to waste time not knowing what it is. So I'm just gonna put it into that category. It seriously doesn't stand out to me like what the hell that's supposed to be. Nashville gumbo clams. What? Well, I definitely never had that. By the way, so this looks like a bunch of pieces of shit. I know Americans do eat shit. You know, they eat it all the time. That's why they're just big fat slobs. So I'm not surprised to see that they have fried shit here on the list. No, actually, I have no idea what those are supposed to be at all. I can't really tell what that's supposed to be. Does anyone know what those are? Are the You know what's really weird? I'm looking at this list. You know what they don't have on here that absolutely should be on here? Meatloaf. I can't find meatloaf on the rest of this tier maker, and I'm like, how the hell do you have an American ranking of foods and you don't have meatloaf? Like, that's classic American food. I can't believe they don't have that on there, right? So Alex from Phoenix did a super chat. He said, I turn around for 2 minutes. You've made Twinkies a D tier. This is blasphemy. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, Alex from Phoenix. Personally, I don't like Twinkies that much. Okay? As I explained, I think I would like to eat any other, like, snack cake before I would eat a Twinkie. Twinkie would be my last choice, so that's why it's so low down there. Someone says they think this is, oh God. What do you call it? Crab cakes. Do you think, are we going to call these crab cakes? Because if that's the case, I mean, they could be, but I've seen so many different kinds of crab cakes, right? So these are not pieces of shit. These are actually crab cakes, all right? The reason they look so weird is because crab cakes can be dramatically different. It depends on the amount of crab in the cake. It depends on if there's breadcrumbs on top of the cake. Like, I've seen crab cakes that's literally just a pile of crab with some mayonnaise and some veggies and things thrown in. Then I've seen crab cakes that are, like, fried and breaded and things, you know? Crab cake? All right, we'll say it's crab cakes. If this is American crab cakes, all right, then I would say American crab cakes are B tier. They're B tier. Sorry, I just don't think that they're the upper echelon. Like, I would say salmon is better than crab cakes. That's my take. Okay? Potato chips. Potato chips are not great, but not bad. They go right smack dab in the middle. Potato chips are a B tier. Because potato chips, you can get really good ones. You get really nasty, greasy ones. You get ones that are too crispy and fall apart. You get ones that are crunchy, like kettle cooked. Those are really good. I think that they're right middle of the road for me. They're not amazing. They're not bad. They're just kind of middle of the road potato chip. Okay? By the way, Tizwaz112 just re-upped their membership for 19 months. Thank you so much, Tizwaz, for that. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Fortune cookie. That's right. Did you guys know? You probably had no idea that the fortune cookie that is synonymous with Chinese food is an American piece of cuisine. They were invented in Los Angeles, California. Absolutely correct. Fortune cookie. How stupid is that? That we all think that it's Chinese and it's not. All right? However, fortune cookies can be amazing, but most of them are not. Most of them are kind of shitty. And these days, most fortune cookies don't even have real fortunes in them. It'll say something stupid. Like the sky is blue. Like, yeah, I knew that, asshole. I looked up today. You know? So, I don't think that fortune cookies are that great. So, I'm just going to say fortune cookie is a C tier. C tier. Okay. So, I believe this is trail mix. American trail mix. What is trail mix? Well, it's a combination of mixed nuts with dried fruits and sometimes other things. So, for example, I've had trail mix that has like cashews, peanuts, dried cherries, dried cranberries, raisins, and then maybe some seeds and things like that. You got like pumpkin seed. You can have other things in there. The cool thing about trail mix is that there's so many variations of it. I've had ones that has like little pieces of bread and stuff in it. I've had ones that has like a sesame seed stick in it, and they all taste different. And that's cool. I like the variety of trail mix in it. And if you get a good trail mix, you're actually going to get a good boost of energy and sometimes even protein. Sometimes, you know, because of the nuts. So you're getting kind of all the nutrients you need on the go. So a good trail mix can be absolutely good, but they're not all made equal. There's definitely some trail mixes that are not nearly as good as others. But as an overall snack, I'm going to rank trail mix a B. I believe, is this not, am I wrong here in saying that this is jambalaya? That this is this southern dish jambalaya, which is shrimp with a variety of other ingredients? Am I right or am I wrong here? Does anyone know? I believe this is a southern U.S. dish. Down in like New Orleans and places like that, they eat it down there, jambalaya. Right? I think it is. Now, I don't know if I've ever had authentic jambalaya. The idea of jambalaya sounds great. It's shrimp with all these ingredients. You got veggies in there. You got a good savory sauce in there. It's all cooked and stirred up fresh, right? That sounds really good. But sadly, I can't rate it. It looks super good. Like, I want to eat that right now. But I've never had it. So I can't rate it if I never had it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel bad because I want to say that's good, but I never tasted it, so it's kind of unfair to the other foods to rate something that I've never eaten. So I'm going to put it down there. But I think I would probably really like that simply because I really like the ingredients that are in it. Okay? Looks like another contribution has come in. Thank you, guys. By the way, we're still going for about another 90 minutes, just so everyone knows. This stream's going for about another 90 minutes before we adjourn tonight, just so everybody is aware. I just got a $1.25 tip from Phil's Hawaiian shirt. Have you had bagels and lox? I think turkey is too dry. I love bagels. I have never had lox on a bagel, so I don't know if I would like the combination. But I absolutely love bagels, and I like a little schmear of cream cheese on my bagel. That's what I eat almost every breakfast. I have a schmear of cream cheese on the bagel. So very good. Oh shit, I just screwed up. I canceled out what I changed. Who doesn't like a schmear, by the way? Everyone should like a good schmear. All right. So, continuing on. Macaroni and cheese. I literally just had macaroni and cheese for dinner that my wife had made me here today. And as I showed you during there, macaroni and cheese can be absolutely amazing. Here's why mac and cheese is amazing. Because it could be a side and it could be a main course. Because it could be incredibly simple and still delicious. Or it could be ridiculously robust and complex, having a variety of conflicting and contrasting flavors and textures. But it's still good. Macaroni and cheese is good when it's fresh, and it's good when it's left over. It's a classic American comfort food. Now, people do make some mac and cheese terrible, and there's some gross things out there, like the boxed mac and cheese that you would get at the grocery store, that 9 times out of 10 is just a powdered sauce that tastes like duty. It's like liquid sodium in your mouth, and you might as well just eat a fucking bag of salt than eat that boxed mac and cheese. That's not representative of what macaroni and cheese is supposed to be. But a good mac and cheese can hit the spot, be incredibly filling. It absolutely is classic American fare. Ladies and gentlemen, macaroni and cheese is an S tier. And if you disagree, you're absolutely incorrect. I'm sorry. S tier ranking from me, mac and cheese, baby. There you go. Up next, we have a Smithfield smoked ham. I've never had a Smithfield brand smoked ham. I've heard of them. Apparently, they're very well regarded as incredibly high-grade smoked ham. Absolutely delicious. Melts in the mouth. The marbling of the fat on a Smithfield smoked ham is super duper good. Personally, if you were to ask me, what would you like for Christmas dinner? Would you prefer ham or would you prefer turkey? I would say ham. Really, I like ham more than I like turkey. And this kind of smoked ham is very, very classic here in America. All right? I've never really had the whole smoked ham, but I've had variations on it before, so I kind of know what it is. So I'm going to give smoked ham a B tier rating. B tier. Okay? You might be wondering, who is this woman? And what is this that she's trying to force down your gullet? The answer is she's trying to give you the ingredients that when combined would become, get this, a peanut butter and banana sandwich. I have never had a peanut butter and banana sandwich in my life. My wife has. My wife has told me, get this, that peanut butter and banana is really good. She says she used to eat them all the time and it tastes really good. But I never had it. So without me actually having tasted it, I can't really grade. That would be unfair again. Now, never having had peanut butter and banana together, I can't tell you if I would like it. So that's not right, right? I'm not going to do that. So sadly, I'm going to put it into the, oh, never tried it category. But I've heard from people that it's good. Now, this is absolutely ridiculous. I know exactly what this is. Are you ready for this? This is American salad. Take a look at that. Do you see what the fuck is in that salad? Take a look at that. The Americans would say that's salad. I'm not even kidding you. That's why it's on here. Because American salad is so ridiculous. And particularly, I believe that's supposed to be considered the chef salad. You say, well, what is the chef salad? The chef salad typically has diced ham or turkey or both. Some kind of a diced cheese, like Swiss cheese or cheddar cheese. Diced hard-boiled egg. Okay? It almost seems like it's not a salad. Because it's really not. It's fucking stupid. And when I used to work, I worked at a salad place. An actual everything yogurt and salad cafe. When this company used to exist, they went out of business. But when they used to exist, okay, they would have all these variety. Would you like the house salad today? How about the garden salad? Or a niçoise? Or the, no, I'll take the chef salad. And every time I did that, I would go like this. I'd be like, oh no. Because I know what's coming next. Because whenever someone orders the chef salad, like clockwork, they're also going to order the extra thick, creamy, fatty, cheesy dressing that negates the fact that you're eating salad. So they'd be like, please let me get the large chef salad. By the way, give me an extra scoop of that chef mix in there and I'll pay extra for it. I'd like 2 giant ladles of chunky blue cheese or Parmesan peppercorn or creamy Caesar dressing on that. So you would do it. And as you start to, think about this. This is hard-boiled egg and meat and cheese. And you're trying to mix it with this thick-ass dressing. You know what happens? It basically becomes a fucking thing of mush. You're making mush. There's no salad to be had. It's like you might as well not even have veggies in there. It's just it's a big lump of shit. And they're going to eat that. And it's like 40,000 calories, 500 grams of fat. And then the best part about it is when Americans order the chef salad, they always say at the end, oh, but I would like a Diet Coke with that, please. Because that makes them feel good about themselves. All right? Chef salad is not great. Chef salad is all right. So I'm going to give chef salad a C. Tater tots. Tater tots are great. But they're not amazing. They can be quite good, but they can also be overcooked and kind of greasy. So I'm going to give tater tots a B rank. Tater tots. I don't know what this is. This is some kind of a smoked or cured meat, but I can't tell what it is. That could be corned beef. That could be like Reuben meat. You think some people are saying it's a brisket. Some people are saying it's a pot roast. You see, it's hard to tell. I can't actually tell. You guys think that's a pot roast? Is that what you think that is? A pot roast. See, but now Norscott says, well, that looks like corned beef. So, how are we judging this? Or do we just say we don't know what it is, so we skip, right? Right? It's corned beef. Let's assume it's corned beef. We're just going to assume it's corned beef. Corned beef is absolutely delicious. And it hits my A tier. I'm serious. I love corned beef. I think it's very flavorful. You can have it in sandwiches. You can have it as a side, as a thing with other things on it. I love corned beef. It's an A ranking. Is this collard greens? Is that collard greens, everyone? If it's collard greens, I know how to rank it. If it's something else, I don't know what it is. I think that's collard greens, right? Shoe leather, seaweed. Seaweed is not American. I hate to tell you guys. Dried turds. Recently, I'm going to say this is collard greens, and recently I've had collard greens. They're incredibly bitter. I get that what they're supposed to be is a flavor that contrasts. If you're going to get, say, savory southern cooking food, you would eat that to offset the flavors of the things that you're eating. So it's unique, but I didn't really like it. I'm not going to say it's D. I'm going to put it into C tier. Cornbread. I don't even have to say a word. Cornbread is S tier. Cornbread is sweet. Cornbread is savory. Cornbread is delicious. It's gritty. You can put it into things and it's amazing. You can eat it by itself and it's amazing. You could find it on the bottom of an old garbage can. It was stuck there for 2 weeks. You could pull it out, eat it. It's amazing. Cornbread is so good. I love cornbread. It's one of my favorite kinds of bread. And the thing is, they usually have it as, again, a contrasting thing with like barbecue meats. I absolutely love cornbread. That is an easy S for me. This is a pile of baby duty on a biscuit. So what do you guys think of baby duty on a biscuit? You like that? Some people like baby duty, I heard. They eat it right. Sometimes they suck it right out of a baby's butt. Right? What the hell is that? I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is. Whatever it is, that is absolutely unappealing. And I'm not going to rate it. I'm just going to say I never had it. And it's going right down there. Mashed taters. Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. I love potatoes in various different ways. I like mashed potatoes. I'll be honest, though. I do think that I prefer like a tater tot or even a really good fried potato of some sort to a mashed potato. I do think mashed potatoes can be amazing if they have the skins in them, if there's a little bit of garlic in them, a little bit of butter or cheese in them. Then I think that they're really good. But I don't think mashed potatoes are like flawless. I'm going to say mashed potatoes are like, nah. I'm going to say they're a B. And you could disagree with me. You probably do. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Does anyone know? I know this is a BLT sandwich. For those who don't know, bacon, lettuce, tomato became a signature sandwich in America a while ago. And a lot of places you go now, you can get the BLT. It's a little weird because you think, well, bacon, shouldn't that be something you add on top of a burger or you add on top of another sandwich? Should it really be the main event of the sandwich? And a lot of people, there's debate on that. Should it be or not? But for me, I've had BLTs. And if you have a really good BLT, it could be quite delicious. So I'm going to give BLT, a B tier ranking. B tier for the BLT. This is a bag of Doritos in which someone poured something else. I've heard about this. That there's some weird recipes that they do. They take a bag of not Doritos, Fritos. They take a bag of Fritos chips. They open it up and they put shit in it. And then they call it something else. Like someone just said, this is going to be called Frito pie. So you know what you could do? You can take your Frito pie and you could shove it right where it looks, because that's absolutely disgusting and I would never eat that. Just like this. This looks like seriously, this looks like a festering zit or like an infected chest cavity that's going to burst any second. Look, like you see there's like pus around, and in the middle there, there's like some like, what is that supposed to be? I'm just going to eat that? You honestly think I'm going to eat that? No, that's going down here. I'm not touching that. With a 1,000,000-foot pole, I would not put that near my body. That's absolutely disgusting looking, and I'm not eating that. Okay? What is this? This looks like is this a po' boy sandwich? I think this is the classic Southern po' boy sandwich, which means that it needs to be on a delicious toasty bread that has some chewiness to it, but a crunchiness on the outside. Typically, it usually has like some kind of veggie on there, like a lettuce, a crisp lettuce or something like that. And I've seen all different kinds of po' boys. I've seen shrimp po' boys. I've seen pork po' boys. I've seen chicken po' boys. I've seen all these different versions of the po' boy. The one that I used to get all the time was the one they had a shrimp po' boy or they had a chicken po' boy at Popeyes. For some reason, they got rid of them. That was one of my favorite things at Popeyes, all right? So, Popeyes, I'm going to say Popeyes. Po' boys, I'm going to rank it a B tier. I think po' boys are pretty good overall. I do think that they're pretty good. Okay? I still don't know what, first of all, I don't know what this is. This is some building. I'm just going to put that there. I don't know what the fuck that is. We have two things left. The one on the left, I'm not sure what it is. The one on the right is American fried chicken. Fried chicken, when done right, is finger-licking good. If they do the chicken right, we do chicken right, then it's finger-licking good. But a lot of places don't do it right. And sadly, fast food has kind of bastardized American fried chicken. But if you get fresh fried chicken from a restaurant that's known for fried chicken, dude, oh my God. There's absolutely no way that I would deny that American fried chicken is an S tier. Even though I know it's unhealthy. If you're going to go unhealthy, out of all the things in S tier, you're like, man, they're all bad for you. What's the one I got to eat? You got to try the fried chicken. That's the one you got to try. Okay? And then last but not least, I don't know what the hell this is, so I'm just tossing it down here. All right, so let's do it. Let's summarize our categories. I've never tried most of these. I don't know what most of them are. Some of them look like babies' poops, and some of them look like buildings. So I don't know what they are. I'm just gonna say I never had any of those. Okay. In D tier, we've got s'mores, Twinkies, and chicken wings. In C tier, we've got nachos, sizzling fajitas, key lime pie, the fortune cookie, turkey for Thanksgiving, chicken fried steak, the chef's salad, and collard greens. In B tier, which just happens to be the biggest tier in this entire ranking, we've got Chicago deep dish pizza, we got the lobster roll, we have popcorn, we have New England clam chowder, then we've got clam cakes, crab cakes, we've got the BLT sandwich, we got baked beans. How about some potato chips? Or maybe some trail mix, or how about a delicious Smithfield smoked ham, or how about some tater tots, or maybe some mashed taters, or maybe you want a delicious po' boy sandwich. That sounds good to me. In A tier, we've got some kind of a dairy dessert. I said I wanted to go with it, saying it was ice cream. Some people said, oh, that's probably like a yogurt parfait. I'm gonna say it's soft serve ice cream. All right. We've got the nicely dressed African American gentleman standing on line. He's absolutely delicious. I don't know if you ever tasted him. He's really good. No, this is supposed to be President Obama standing in line at either Geno's or Pat's, Philly cheesesteak. So the Philly cheesesteak is A ranking. Salmon, sourdough bread. This is Alaskan salmon, by the way, which is why it's ranked in America. Sourdough bread. All right. A lattice work berry pie and corned beef. But then you've got the absolute supremo tier, the upper echelon of American feasting cuisine. You've got apple pie, the cheeseburger, the hot dog, the amazing full rack of slow-cooked barbecue pork ribs, corn bread, mac and cheese, or macaroni and cheese, and fried chicken. If you made me pick out of that entire top tier, if you made me select one thing out of all of that food, I would go with the perfect rack of barbecue pork ribs. That's what I would pick. I think that's, if you nail it, I think that smoked meats and or barbecue meats are the absolute best fare of American food there is. But it has to be nailed right, because I've had it that was way off. I've had it that was too chewy, too dry, not enough barbecue flavor, too much smoke. It's got to be nailed. But if you nail it right, it's succulent, it's juicy, it falls off the bone. Every bite is lip smacking good. It's worth the mess. Barbecue ribs. That's my take. You can disagree, and if you do, you're absolutely wrong. But it's your opinion, and you have the right to be wrong. You have the right. You have the right to be wrong. Here, on YouTube. All right? Thank you all. I hope that you enjoyed my full-on listing, tier maker ranking of American fare cuisine. Let me know in the comments if you agree, if you disagree, if I'm right, if I'm wrong. I want to hear your take on some of these foods. And thank you all for watching so very much. I appreciate that. Until next time, see you later.